Hello everybody, my name's Frank. I'm from Practical Lawful Dissent 2. You won't normally see me in front of a camera doing videos. It's not something I particularly enjoy doing. It's not something I've never liked being in front of a camera, and I don't mind letting you all know that. But on the odd occasion there comes a time where perhaps it's necessary to do so. And right now there seems to be a lot of concern, if you like, about this World Health Organization pandemic treaty that is forthcoming. And I just wanted to share some of my thoughts with you on that. I do prefer to do things in a written word, but I do appreciate obviously that not everybody wants to sit there reading a relatively lengthy subject. So, where do we begin? I think before we start talking about this pandemic, this treaty, that the world organisations are looking to bring all the governments together to sign, I think we need to backtrack a little bit and just have a look at a few other things before we come to what that is and what it's all about. Most of you watching this, not all by any means, but most of you watching this will have, over the last couple of years at least, become aware of exactly what is going on in the world and who is at the forefront of it and what the main aim of it all is. There are those who perhaps don't know that and are here purely on sort of lawful interest grounds. But perhaps you will be aware of certainly some of the things that other people are saying. Normally these types of people are either called asleep or awake, not terms anyone really likes to use, but terms that we all know exactly what we're referring to if we use them. So, however, with regards to the awake fraternity, if you like, there are two subdivisions within that. So, to go to what we call the asleep, for example, these are people that cannot switch off the television, turn away from the newspaper headlines, and rely on them for sources of their information and knowledge. Then we have the majority of the awake population who perhaps are doing the same, but with an alternative news network, alternative news headlines and newspapers and so forth. And then there's another group of awake people who no longer rely on any of those. And I certainly fall into that category. And that's by no means being elitist at all. I'm not running down anybody, asleep or awake. Okay? But I'm just trying to clarify differences. If it helps you on your path, then great. And there's a reason why I've just said all of that, which I'll come back to. The main reason why I've just gone into that is that those that are of the awake fraternity, you will know, you will have seen the memes, you have read the literature, you had heard it said on videos all over, that the cabal has always orchestrated and funded both sides of every war. Right now we are in World War III, there's no disputing that. This is a takeover of the globe on every single level going. So you could say that one side of the war is those that follow the mainstream media, follow exactly everything that the media companies and the governments say. And on the other side is the awake fraternity, is those that don't believe the mainstream media and don't believe anything that the governments say. I'll repeat what I said before. The cabal fund, run, organise both sides of every war. Those of you that have gone down the awake path, if you like, will know that ultimately the end game is a new world order, one world government, a culling of the overpopulated, as they deem it to be, human race, and effectively a controlling of the human herds that remain. This is no surprise. Therefore, you will know that there are already treaties, pacts, and organizations, contracts, if you like, between all of those that pertain to represent us, to lead us down these paths of culling and one world domination. The World Health Organization Pandemic Treaty is one of these very instruments in order to enable this to happen. Its main component, of course, being William Gates, and the main funder of the World Health Organization. So it's not difficult to correlate between his aims as a eugenist, along with his father and many, many others, and the combining of, or compelling of combination of all of the world governments as much as is feasible. And those that don't sign it, of course, will be under intense pressure from those that have. So what is this World Health Organization Treaty? It's a pact between all governments of the world to basically do everything that the World Health Organization tells them to do in, shall we say, the circumstance, in the event that another world pandemic takes place ever again. It won't take long for many of you to link this straight back to Event 201 in October 2019, where the millionaires, the governments, and all the rest of it, and I'll say millionaires and billionaires, of course, the philanthropists, all got involved to orchestrate a world-hitting virus. As with a lot of people, it doesn't take long when the box is opened to take the toy out and start playing with it. And so we all know that just 2 months later, China was hit by a virus which then soon circulated the whole globe. And these plans and strategies, if you like, were immediately put into force. Surprisingly, they were already well equipped to do so in many circumstances. The World Health Organization is preparing a strategy to prepare for such another type pandemic, because of course this is something we've seen year on year, isn't it? And there's no doubt at all that there will be one very, very soon. Probably, possibly, within a couple of months of the signing and allegiances being sworn to this pandemic treaty. And this is why people are getting worried, and understandably so. I get it. I'm not aloof from it all, but I want to try and neutralize those concerns, and I want to try and put things into perspective for you, so that you're not running on fear. Nobody likes to say, "I'm scared, I'm fearful." It's a natural instinct to say, "I'm brave, I'm strong, I can cope with this," right? Those that watch the mainstream media, told to be scared of a virus, "Don't go near anybody, keep your masks up," they will never admit to being scared or living in fear, but we know they are. We can also see it with the awake fraternity as well. Being aware creates its own sort of fear. But I'm not going to labour that point. We all know that if we do nothing, the one world government, the new world order, is going to be created. We all know this. We all know it's coming. We all know that there will be foreign armies in our countries who don't give a monkeys about our rights as citizens and sovereigns of a particular country. They are there to do a job, just as they've already been exercising already on protests and the like, where they have shown their complete disdain for the people in those protests. There are animals out there already, much like the Nazis treated the Jews. We already have that taking place. In readiness, in preparation for the reparations, if you like, of those that don't conform to this, presumably this pandemic treaty and anything else that is thrown our way. The main concern seems to surround the fact that the World Health Organization is constructing its own constitution, and thereby all other countries' constitutions are going to be null and void, overwritten, ruled over, worthless. If you don't know much about constitutions and how they work and how they were set up and how they are operated, then I understand this amazing belief that a constitution can be overwritten by the members of a government signing a treaty with a corporation. Some interesting terminologies there, which I'll just go back a little bit to. I mentioned government and I mentioned corporation. Governments are corporations. Each individual member or representative of those parliaments are themselves corporations. Go look yourself. Go on to your country's company's house equivalent. Go on to Dun and Bradstreet. Type in the name of a, perhaps look at a major MP, for example. Boris Johnson is a business. He is a corporation. Then ask yourself, how can somebody elected into office by the sovereign peoples of the land to represent them and make decisions on their behalf, how can they be listed as a corporation? Where are their true interests? Who do they actually represent? Is it themselves and their money-making capabilities, or is it the interests of the people who elected them into office? And this is the crux of what we have. We have corporations within corporations taking our countries supposedly under a constitution of another organisation. Are you beginning to see where this is all a bit pie-eyed? So what can we do about this? Is there anything we can do about this? Do we accept it? Do we go along with it? Do we let our already proven to be treasonous and tyrannical governments carry on doing what they want to do? Carry on fulfilling their plan? Carry on filling William Gates's pockets and filling and fulfilling his dreams? Of course, it isn't just him. There are many, many others. Well, of course there's something you can do. We have had the answer in our hands this whole time, for hundreds of years. For hundreds of years, the people have had the opportunities, the chances, the knowledge to correct these situations. Yet they've sat back and done nothing. Now maybe is the chance to do something. Maybe now is the right time to do something. Because what are the other options? We sit back and watch. And we watch everything that we've been screaming about on our social medias for the last couple of years, or longer. And we just watch it all unfold. Like a movie. Like we're transfixed in a movie theatre or in the cinema. Everything's real around us, but hey, we just watch and sit and watch the show. We don't need to do anything. I'd call that programming. Because absolutely we have to do something. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is the time we have to do something. If we do nothing, the constitution of the World Health Organization will usurp all other countries' constitutions. And the reason for that is because the constitution only applies as long as the sovereign people of that constitution uphold it. If we don't uphold our constitutions, we will be adopting a new one, and you will not like it. The remedy, as I say, has been in your hands all along. Those in the Commonwealth, all past and present Commonwealth countries, can uphold the English Constitution, can swear an allegiance to it, thereby in time eradicating any allegiance to any other constitution, and indeed an allegiance to our own treasonous corporate governments. And this applies to other countries around the world. Those with their own constitutions can do the same. Masses of people, constitution or not, can do the same. Everyone is born sovereign. Everyone. It's only the rules that you decide to adopt and live by that prevents you from being a sovereign. And that's what you need to remember. I am aware a great many people have put their faith in other, should we say, entities. That may be themselves, it may be God, or any other form of religion. And that's fine. I have no issues with that. For me personally, I can't abide people sitting down or sitting back, doing nothing, and expecting something or somebody else to do it for them. I wouldn't be happy if the divine universe, or God, or Allah, or any other name and terminology you want to use, I wouldn't be happy them coming to pull up on my shortcomings if I hadn't given 100% myself. I hope you'll also take that on board and join us. I hope that that makes sense. I hope that resonates with you. Because right now we need people getting behind our constitutions, stepping aside from following and believing our corporate governments and our corporate ministers, and doing what is the right thing to do. If you want to find out more, come and join us at Practical Lawful Dissent 2 on Facebook. And come and talk to us. Come and read what is there. Come and watch the videos. Learn about taking an oath to the Constitution. Learn about extracting yourself from the legalese system. We are the people. The people are the power. The Constitution is there for the people. Don't let the Constitution down. This is Frank signing out. Take care all.